Hi and welcome back. This is Tommy, and this video I'm just gonna finally fit in a body for my Eagle Racing TT02 GRT. Now, well, this is Eagle Racing version of TT02, which is pretty much the same as the Tamiya TT02. Well, so the same as in technically it's the same engine position. It shares a lot of the same parts that will fit directly onto the TT02, but it's pretty much like an entirely different car because they have their own aluminium engine mount, their own steering wipers is one of the biggest difference. But the gears, the suspension mounts are different as well. You can see here, completely different suspension arms. The damper stays pretty similar. The carbon shaft's similar, the gearing's the same, and I guess that's about it with the similarities. You know, servo position's the same, motor position's the same, battery position's the same, and yeah, that's about it. Everything else about this car is different than TT02, but it is a TT02. It behaves like a TT02 and has the same dynamics. So anyway, the point of this video is that I'm gonna fit in, I have this Endless 350Z that I already had. I had this body in mind when I got this chassis. This is from Tamiya, and I already had the holes, you know, already drilled in. So I'm hoping when I got the TT02, I was, you know, hoping that it will just fit all my other Tamiya bodies, because, you know, they usually have an industry standard of the body mount position. But what I discovered that the Eagle Racing was slightly off when I fitted on the first time. The body was too close together. So if you can see here, I fitted a 10mm spacer just behind the damper here. If you can see right there, just behind the damper, two 10mm spacers to push it, and at the back as well. So that essentially push the damper, the front one further back and the back one also further, I guess it pushes it both further inward. No, sorry, further outwards, because, yeah. And now you can see it should be a perfect fit, like so. Where previously it was kind of it was about 2mm off, and you know, it was a bending exercise in order to fit it on, and I knew it wasn't like fitted on correctly. And now, yeah, no, it fits well. Now, to make that fit as well, I guess it's important for you to know what type of wheels you'll need to have. So this car came with a 5mm Eagle Racing adapter, which is cool, but it was slightly too thick because I was combining it with what's that? A 5mm offset MST wheels. If you can get a 4mm offset, then you can use this 5mm, but they normally don't make a 4mm offset. They only make like 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on. So what I did was I replaced it with a 4mm adapter to, this is an MST 4mm wheel adapter to make it fit perfectly. So now we got a 4mm plus 5mm offset. So it's about a, you know, total value of 9. And that's pretty much the maximum you can go if you want to fit a Tamiya body. If you want if you're gonna put in the wider wheels, then you're gonna need a wide body kit, because Tamiya bodies are pretty, you know, universally standard. And that's what a lot of companies use as well. Like sometimes you get an MST car and then it comes with a body, usually it's actually a Tamiya body. Like they don't you know, they only just recently started making their own body, maybe a couple of years ago, which they have wide body now. But the problem with this new wide body is that, you know, it doesn't come with the cool stickers, although some of them does, but they can be very expensive and hard to get because it's very limited in supply. Anyway, so this body now with the 4mm wheel adapter and the 5mm offset, it fits perfectly. It doesn't, you know, it barely goes under the wheel arc, and you know, that's important for me. I want to get as wide as I can. Well, especially on the front. On the rear, it's not so much of a problem because typically on the rear, I want it to be narrower than the front. That's for handling purpose, but we go over that later. But you can't really do that with this body because unless we change the wheel offset or I go to a skinnier adapter again, but then that would require mixing the wheel offset from front and rear, and I can't really be bothered doing that. But this looks good anyway, you know, looking good is half of it. So the car looks good, perfect. Look at that massive angle, like that. Oh, another thing I should mention is that I did a little upgrade. I removed these helical gear. These goes in the back, and it gives a countersteer of 1.6. I replaced them with the Eagle Racing plastic countersteer gear. They also offer like about a 1.7, but it was made for a different car, made for a TT02 FRD, but I managed to get it to fit anyway, and according to my calculation, it gives me a countersteer about 1.9, which is good, which is quite high, and that's how I like it. So it's really up to you. I mean, these gears are great. They you know, I've never seen anything like them. It's helical gear, you know, it's very smooth, but they are metal, so they're quite loud. So one of the advantages of switching to the plastic gear was that, you know, it's a little smoother and it gives me more countersteer. Another thing was, I guess I'll mention this in the next video, I'm gonna try switching to a mineral oil, shock oil. This is MSD mineral oil number 10, which apparently is the equivalent of about 100 cc silicone, but I'm not sure. But I do find them a lot smoother. I mean the suspension feels soft, but not really. The dampening is too tight still. You just can't get that really soft drift dampening with these pistons. Maybe the piston needs way more holes or something, but silicone oils are generally too thick. And I've tried these mineral oils on my other car, which I can show you later, and they work really great. But I mean, this is all right, this is good enough, but we can make it better with the mineral oil, and I'll go over that later. So let's put these on. Oh, another thing I'd like to mention is that this body has an LED light, and if you ever look into a cheap and effective way of putting on LED lights, I recommend you get the Kyosho LED lights. So it just comes as this one little cable, and you get front and rear lights, you know, 4 lights total, and it covers your entire car really. And you just have the one plug. You plugged it in, and just turn it on and off. You don't need to buy like the Tamiya TL01, which is like another unit to control the LED light, blah blah blah, because that's like adds on $50 and gets really expensive. And this is, I think, was $15, and that's all you need. You just stick it on and you can have it, you know, it's effective. If you just like a simple LED light that turns on and off. Like put this pin. So I'm always very careful when putting on this pin, so as to not to scratch the body. So I'll put them in carefully like that. Make sure the pin is slightly bent. Can you see that? Slightly bent like that. So it goes in a curving way. If you don't bend it, you will likely scratch the body. I hate getting scratches on them. And I have a good trick of removing the pins as well. The way I normally remove the pin is that I put my thumb on the sharp part of the body and you push it like that gently and you take it off, rather than grabbing the pin like this and pulling it. If you pull it, chances are you're gonna scratch it. Just because of the pulling movement is gonna make the pin point downward. Anyway, right, let's see this body. Let's turn it on. Where is the switch? Got a loud fan on. Yeah, it looks good. So the suspension doesn't get in the way. Free movement of the suspension. All right, let's get this outside.